race to 4. Any result is possible, so for this group stages, a draw is also a possible result. You get 1 point, a win is worth 2 points. I think, as we've talked about, Liam, it feels like it could be quite a close group tonight. I would like to think that going into the last couple of matches that there's still going to be a lot to play for.
Yeah, for sure, but I think Andrew's just opened up with a brilliant break. I mean, hit it a little bit, but the way they've come out is you've got an argument on either colour set, but I think they'll be looking at yellows, and yeah, he'll be looking at the 3 that are a bit of a cluster in the bottom of the table, but if we can get them out first and work his way back up, we've got a great opportunity.
And in the same way that getting off to a good start in the match is important, getting off to a good start, the very first frame you play, just particularly for the players that aren't used to being out in the arena, if your first couple of shots go well, it just settles you down for the night. There's nothing better than just being in for an open chance where you can free up your arm and pot a few balls.
So after this shot, I think Andrew will be leaving him on the left-hand rail so he can play the yellow that's over the middle pocket to the left. And he's going to look to track through in between the gap of the 2 reds and head up to the yellow at the top of the rail. It's just important that after playing this shot, he leaves himself an angle to get back out. He doesn't want to land straight. It's hard to see if that, presume the yellow to the clip that he's closest to does go in the corner, but got to reroute now if not.
Yeah, the way he played that, you felt like he must have played on the left hand of the 2 on the right hand side of the table, but it's going to be the one over the left centre next.
He's going to have to land at the bottom rail and play the yellow off the red into the middle. But the hard shot on this is the angle he's going to leave on the second to last yellow. It's tricky to get back up to the top of the table.
They may yet get there, but it just feels like they've put themselves under a bit more pressure. He's left a decent angle. He can go up the right-hand side of the table. If you just avoid the red that's above the cue ball now, find that gap.
Doesn't want to be straight.
Well, it's not quite straight, but it's not very far off. He's got the tiniest bit of angle going down the table. Could power it in. The 8 ball obviously only goes to one of the bottom corner pockets, so he's going to have to probably sacrifice perfect position to guarantee a shot. Well, he's trying to play down for the middle, and he's come a long way short.
Wonder if the red can be doubled off the red into the left centre. Just having a look at it now.
Maybe from the way he's played that, it doesn't pot to the bottom left. Looking now at whether he can double this. It's too thin for the clip. Oh, what a good shot that is. And where's the cue ball? It's safe. Well, they put themselves through it in the final minutes of that frame, but Andrew Patchett and Ryan Bodsworth get off to the perfect start from their point of view.
And he's just cued across it and sent the cue ball into the right centre, but the reds and yellows have gone a bit messy, so there's a little bit of time in this frame.
No surprise at all to see John breaking in the first frame. He's got one of the biggest breaks in the game. No good that time though. If you're going to go in off, as you say, better to leave a messy layout than leave a load of balls waiting to be rolled in.
Yeah, there's sort of at the international rule set, it's hard to completely turn the table and take control. So as you see, he's playing reds and he's attacking, but the key shot to this frame is getting on the red to the right hand rail at the bottom as we look. And he may opt to, if he doesn't get the angle for it later on in the finish, to leave a double at some point.
The nature of this format is that you don't get many frames and you don't get many singles frames, so you feel an added pressure to try and do something. Ryan Bodsworth seems like a confident guy, but he hasn't had as much experience out on this table. He's going to want to show everybody watching, both in the venue and at home, that he's a good player, so it's no surprise to see him go after a finish here.
It's the key shot right now. He's just going to pot this and stun over into the yellow and the red.
That's one of those ones where you're very focused on where the cue ball's going. It's very easy just to end up hitting the object ball where you want the angle to be rather than where it actually is.
Yeah, John's got half a chance here. It's just he's got try and leave a nice angle after this shot, but he needs to be straight on the yellow, and it doesn't look like he's quite got the angle.
Coming back to what you were saying at the beginning of the show, I think in John's position you feel a little bit of added pressure here. He'd love the score to be 1-1 when Jaiden plays his first singles frame. He's going to feel he doesn't want to leave his son 2-0 behind and having to chase the game.
No, John's got to play a recovery positional shot here. He's just got to pot this and top off the top rail. He's got to cue it well. Oof. That could have landed better.
Yeah, he's going to feel that's a bit unlucky. He's tracking into that area, but to land tight over the ball like this makes it so much harder.
And this is why I prefer being in the commentary box, because I'd be a million to reach this.
Yeah, that's not the best place for a left-hander, is it, that one? Well, even for a reasonably tall right-hander, that wasn't an easy place.
No, he's handed a good opportunity to Ryan. As long as the red goes into the bottom right-hand corner, the first shot.
Whereas this first chance of the match felt like he was, or the frame I should say, felt like he was chasing it a bit. This one does feel like a more presentable chance. It's not perfect, of course, but wow. Felt like he couldn't overcut that. That was the view he took as well. He did almost, though.
And he's sort of got a second prize on the double, but this isn't easy because the 8-ball could end up heading down by the yellow.
You can see his thinking there, because if that red drops, then he's in decent shape for the finish. And now it hasn't. It's not perfect, but it hasn't left an easy way out for John.
Yeah, this is where John's just going to pull back and just sort of try to take control in the frame. He's not really left Ryan a pot, so there will be a safety shot, and I think Ryan will be looking, as it's just about where he's standing now, he'll be looking to drift the cue ball down into that corner. Ideally wants to bring the red off the cushion and send the cue ball down. Just got to be careful of the enough.
Well, it was a pretty good bit of cueing from where he was, but that was always asking a lot.
It's a good effort.
You can see he's not too disappointed as he sits there, because you can see it's still not easy, but he's had a couple of half chances already in this frame.
This is the key shot now, so John's going to be playing the yellow down the rail, but it's got to be played at pace off the 8-ball, and he's got to get it out the way. Yeah, he's just not played it hard enough and needed to hit the 8-ball more fuller in the face. He's in a bit of trouble now. And this is where I think sometimes in this format of the tournament, you've got to look at, yes, you're behind in the frame. Is it worth just sort of losing the frame quickly?
Yeah, that's an interesting point. I mean, that's not a discussion you have very often, and certainly not at 1-0 in a match. But 9 minutes remaining on the match clock here. We're over halfway through already, and only a single frame completed. So if it does go 2-0 behind, as you rightly say, you do want time to get back into the match. It was a bit unlucky for John. He just didn't quite catch the 8 ball thick enough when he played that previous shot. Had he have done, he would have had the chance for the finish. Now he's got drawn into attempted to play a safety, but didn't quite get it safe enough.
This isn't easy. He needs to make sure he doesn't. There you go. So he is sort of back in the frame.
This has turned into a massive frame now. The fact it's taken so long means that the difference between 2-0 and 1-all is going to be very big, with only potentially 5 or 6 minutes remaining on the clock.
John's just sort of making it messy, and it's not a bad shot. It just depends how attacking Ryan wants to be. Does he want to play the red and send the cue ball into the yellow to make a plant?
It's a big decision, this, because he's in quite good control of the frame if he just plays a kind of containing shot on the red. It's so tempting where it's positioned.
He's played it, but he's not got the position on the red.
Not only has he not got good position on the red, but where the 8 ball is, even if he wants to pull a double out, it's not a straightforward position to get around the angles.
I think he'll just be opting to play safe here. Maybe send the cue ball down to the bottom of the table, the other side of the 8 ball.
It's the best position John's been in this frame for a while. It's not a straightforward one, though.
John might... An option for John here is to sort of put himself in a position where he can bring the yellow off from the 8 ball, but leave the cue ball in an angle where Ryan, 1, has got a tough pot, and 2, not the natural to get to the bottom of the table.
I'll tell you what, that wasn't a bad effort from where he was.
No, but it's just been a bit unfortunate. If that yellow had stayed over the pocket, it would have been a lot better, but still not too bad. Because I think the pot on this red and the cue ball does go into the yellow. So he's got to try and avoid the yellow, and he'll get natural position on the 8 ball. Oh, you saw Jaiden there wheeling that cue ball in.
Good pot, well that jaw has made all the difference. This 8 ball still pots, but it's a thin clip from here. Very easy to catch the jaw.
Yeah, you see, we're approaching nearly 5 minutes left as well, so does he just pull back? Yeah.
And that's got to be the percentage shot, hasn't it? Because if he tries to clip the ball and misses it, he leaves position on the last yellow. Looking at potentially coming off the left-hand side cushion. It's a wafer thin clip if he plays it direct. He could play it cushion first off the top cushion with a load of spin, but that's a very hard shot. Clearly, so this is the highest percentage option.
Oh, it's in.
Oh, how close was that? Not the pocket he played for, but he'd have settled for that every day of the week.
But the thing with Ryan here, the cue ball's tracking towards. He's got to be careful. Should get it.
I'll tell you what, he's going to be very relieved, Ryan Bodsworth, as he goes back to his chair, because that was a frame that took a long time, and although he looked like the favourite for it for most of the time, could so easily have slipped away.
The last yellow.
Big powerful break this from Andrew Patchett, but looked for a moment like it was going to come up dry.
Yeah, he's just got a little bit of work to do, which is the red on the left-hand rail, but he's going to attack it early. Pot this and straight into it. Nice little glance off the yellow. Oh, is he on a red? It's a good recovery shot, but we'll go in again. Top right, stun off the side rail and through the gap.
This has been good so far. Very confident looking player, Andrew Patchett. It's obviously easy to play with confidence when you're 2-0 up, but at the same time, about the only way that they're going to lose from the 2-0 up is to pot the loose balls and let the rows in for a counter clearance. So there is some pressure on this.
He's knocked in these really well, and like you say, he's strutting around the table with a lot of confidence. He's just got to be careful on this shot. It doesn't look like he's got the perfect angle, because he's got to sort of roll this in, and he doesn't want to be bridging over the yellows. So this was now, it should get it, but it's missable.
It's just that hampered queuing, isn't it? If you can get his hand on the table, this is 100 out of 100, but digging down on it like this, you've just got to be careful not to flick any side on the ball.
He's played it well. And I feel sorry for Jaiden, who is still waiting for his first shot of the night.
That was a top draw clearance from Andrew Patchett. Gets his team onto the hill now, 3-0 up, 2 minutes 11 remaining on the match clock.
He gets a ball, and it's a nice split. It's John's come to the table because he's just reminded him it's Scotch doubles now, so they're going to chase a finish on the reds, I think.
And this frame does matter. It doesn't really matter in the context of this match, but in the context of the evening and how well settled Jaiden Roe in particular feels, getting this clearance could be quite important.
Yeah, it's just a little bit off angle there now, so John's got to, it's hard to make this shot. Yeah, I think they sort of give up this match, and they just need to regroup and remind themselves that that isn't over.
No, and that will be a refrain we hear a number of times throughout this night, because this format lends itself to changes in momentum. But right now, there's a lot of momentum going the way of Bodsworth and Patchett. This time it is a bit more relaxed for the two at the table, because there's no real viable route to losing this frame, so just go about it in a relaxed way and try and get these final 5 balls.
Just playing the little, just go off the, oh, that's nice. See, it's them little shots that when you're playing well you see, and they're just knocking them in with, like, just played in the garden.
Well, we've only seen a couple of frames, but he's been razor sharp so far, Andrew Patchett. Looks like he really means business. 20 seconds remaining to pot this final ball. Well, what a start that is. They may well have been the favourites for the night. That was a hard thing to agree on, but they've certainly embellished that credentials now. Ryan Bodsworth and Andrew Patchett get off to the best possible start. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back with more very shortly.